Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. I'm glad you could join me today. Today we're going to steam some kale using the Instapot. So we're out here at the garden, and I'm just picking some more kale. You know, it's been a wonderful harvest of cold weather kale. Kale is a cold weather crop, and so we're going to go inside and use the Instapot to cook some of this kale. So we'll see you inside. So we're in the kitchen, and before I cook the kale in the Instapot, I just wanted to briefly talk to you about kale. You know, the kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, they're really easy to grow. This is one of the seed packets that I have here. It's called Dwarf Blue Scotch Curled Kale. And so for $1.29, you can get a whole pack. There's probably like 50 seeds in there. And that's what one little seed looks like when you go to grow your own kale. And so it's really easy to grow. You can grow it either in containers if you only have a small deck or yard, or you could either just grow it in a 4x8 raised planter bed. And so just by growing a couple plants, or you could buy them in seedlings, so you could feed your whole family for the whole summer just by maybe having a half a dozen plants, because it's pick and come again. So as long as you continue to pick the outer leaf of your kale or collards or Swiss chard, you continue to harvest your plant throughout the season. So that's just a wonderful tip to know that, and I would encourage you to think about maybe growing some of your own food. So anyhow, what we're going to do is, got this kale from the garden. I just need to do some rough chopping on it. Now the kale is full of phytonutrients and antioxidants. We love our greens here. In fact, I think it's Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn who recommends having at least 6 helpings of greens per day. It's good on your endothelium. It helps your blood flow much quicker and better. The greens, because they have nitric oxide in them. And so I think this is rough chopped enough that first I'm going to add half a cup of water to the Instapot. And then we're just going to scoop up all this kale and put it inside. I always call this from seed to harvest. We go out to the garden and cut our kale or vegetables and bring them inside and throw them right in the cooker, so they don't lose any kind of nutritional value. And so we're going to just put the lid on now. We've had this Instapot for a month or so now, and so slowly I'm getting used to using it. It certainly has a learning curve in the beginning, like a lot of things, like gardening, and even health has quite a big learning curve. And I've been whole food, plant-based, following that lifestyle for about 3 years now, and the benefits for me and for my wife have been amazing. My cholesterol, blood pressure have just plummeted, and my energy level has just skyrocketed. And so anyhow, when we begin to cook this or set the timer, we always want to make sure we close the valve. It's really just a valve on top. You would turn it this way to close the valve. A couple times I've used this and I said, oops, I forgot to close it. You can hear it start to steam a little bit. So, and so you could just use the manual button here. You just push manual. At default is 30 minutes. So you're going to just simply scroll down to, we're going to cook this at 4 minutes. So 4 minutes, it's going to take a few seconds. It's going to turn on, and then maybe another 5 to 10 minutes to reach pressure. So right now it's on, and so once it comes to pressure, and after 4 minutes, we'll see you back here. So we're back here. The pressure cooker, it's reached pressure. It's on for 4 minutes, and now we still have 1 minute left. And you can see that now it's on low now for heat. So now at this time we actually want to release the pressure inside, and so you would use the quick relief valve here located on top. It's basically just a valve like on your kitchen faucet, you know, you're opening or closing it. Here in this case you're just relieving the steam, and so I'm just going to, and you'll see it come up like a volcano. Some people can put a rag over it or a cloth to keep the steam down, but you know, let's just go for it and let the steam out. So there you go. It's releasing pressure, about 12 pounds, 12 to 15 pounds of pressure, I believe it is. It builds up inside. And then you can also turn this off, because this has been cooking for 4 minutes. And you know, we're going to have this for lunch. The kale, we're going to put it over potatoes. You know, potatoes and rice. You know, the starches. That's one of that's our main fuel. You know, that we get. We love Dr. John McDougall. You know, he encourages the starches. You know, about 70% of your plate you want to be starches, and then the rest green and yellow vegetables. And so we're gonna have this kale over our potatoes for lunch. Howie and I, who's my son-in-law, my cameraman, you know, we love having the Swiss chard over our potatoes or rice, or even the kale. And so so we're gonna open this up, and I'm just gonna, you know, they also have a handle here that you can put the lid on, which is convenient. And so this kale should be nice and cooked. I'm just going to take some of this and we'll lay it right over the potatoes. It really looks nice and deep green here. What's nice about growing your own kale too is, since it's cold hardy, you know, I'll have kale out in the garden even when it's covered with snow, you know, that we can go out there and pick it. And you know, to flavor your kale, you could use if you're like a balsamic vinegar, you could use, which is good. Got that from Trader Joe's. Also, a while back I got this other, it's a pomegranate vinegar from Trader Joe's. You can have that on over your kale. And so yeah, these Instant Pots, you know, don't be intimidated by the front panel, you know, all the different buttons. All they are is different presets for like soup or beans, you know, where you could just use the manual for most of your cooking in your Instant Pot. And so it has been fun learning about the Instant Pot and slowly being able to share what I've learned with my viewers. And so anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today. We're going to enjoy this lunch right now, and I just hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.